She called me worthless trash before the salmon even touched the table. Her voice didn't rise, it sliced. Sharp and precise, cutting through the soft candlelight and clinking glass like a scalpel against skin. She deserves better, she declared, her fork frozen midair, not like a utensil but a verdict, a gavel. I didn't flinch. I didn't argue. I turned to her, my wife's mother, Martha, and nodded once. You're right, Ma. Then I stood, neatly folded my napkin, slipped it into my empty wine glass, and walked out alone. Behind me, only silence. That was Thursday night. By Friday at 11 a.m., she'd received 3 texts. One from my lawyer. The deal is terminated. One from her daughter. I hate you. And one from me. Don't mess with trash. I love Sarah. Still do. In some far corner of myself that I bricked up and left to rot quietly. She was warm to my coldest years, when I was still naive enough to believe that love could save people. I met her when I was clawing my way back from nothing. No family name. No safety net. No clean past. Just grit under my nails and fire I refused to let die. Martha never saw me. Not really. She only saw what I lacked. The pedigree I didn't have. The past I didn't hide. She pretended well at first, wrapping disapproval in forced smiles and fake affection. All those syrupy, oh, honey lies. But the mask slipped the moment Sarah moved in with me. That's when the pressure started. The veiled critiques, the passive-aggressive jabs. And I let it pass for Sarah. Always for Sarah. But that night, the night she chose to humiliate me in front of her pristine dinner guests, the country club elite she worshipped like gods, she made a war. And I let her, because you don't fight a woman like Martha with rage. You fight her with patience. You let her believe she's won. Let her venom soak through every surface until she's too confident to notice the trap beneath her feet. I spent the next 4 hours sitting in my truck, engine off, the silence so loud it rang. My hands never left the wheel. At 2 a.m., I wasn't sad anymore. I wasn't angry. I was clear, cold, surgical, and I started planning. Martha wasn't just a venomous old woman with an ego problem. She was a silent partner in her family's real estate firm. What she didn't know was that the firm was in the final stages of a merger with a rising tech company. My tech company. Or, rather, what used to be mine. 6 months earlier, I'd sold the intellectual property to a shell corporation, buried in so many legal layers even the devil would need a team of attorneys to find it. Martha had been working her own chessboard, pushing Sarah to squeeze me for legitimacy. Propose. Merge. Consolidate. Make it official. Strengthen the family legacy. She wanted a throne. She just didn't know the peasant already wore the crown. So I gave her everything she thought she wanted. I played dumb. Sat through her meetings. Nodded through contracts. Let her believe she was tightening the leash. All while I was rewiring the whole damn fence. The night after that dinner, I didn't sleep. I forwarded the final contract to my attorney with one word: withdraw. Then I sent Sarah a message. Come home alone. We need to talk. She came. I laid it out for her, every piece. The manipulation. The false smiles. The long game her mother had been playing with her life. I showed her the documents. The shell companies. The betrayal buried in legal language. Then I handed her the signed paperwork. The transfer of my company, my exit. No strings. No tricks. Just freedom. She stared at it, stunned. Why? She whispered, tears slipping down her face. Because I love you, I said, but I will not be a pawn in your mother's empire. And neither should you. She cried, not out of heartbreak, but realization. Then she asked what came next. I didn't answer. I didn't need to. By 11 a.m., the first blow landed. My attorney's message reached Martha. Deal canceled. All assets locked. Partnership terminated. No recourse. Then came Sarah's call. It lasted 2 minutes. Martha tried her tactics, deflection, outrage, self-pity, but Sarah had seen everything. The emails I printed. The voice recordings where Martha called me a temporary tool. The affidavit from an employee she tried to bribe for insider information. Sarah told her she never wanted to see her again. Then she hung up. My message arrived last. Just 3 words. Don't mess with trash. And then the avalanche began. Without the merger, Martha's firm stalled. Liquidity dried up. Investors pulled out. Quietly, then rapidly, the company began to fracture. Lawsuits surfaced. Whistleblowers stepped forward. Internal rot became external collapse. I didn't have to lift a finger. Sarah left town, moved to a quiet coastal city, used the money I gave her to start over. She sends me messages sometimes, little updates, photos, memories. I never respond. And Martha? She's still in that grand home, the one with the polished floors and wine she used to pour like power. The world didn't crumble around her. That would have been too quick, too easy. No, I gave her something worse. Silence, loneliness, the long, slow erosion of everything she tried to control. She wakes up every morning with nothing but the echo of her own schemes, knowing she was outplayed, not by a rival, not by a mogul, but by the man she called worthless, the one she thought she could manipulate, the one she never bothered to understand. I don't want revenge paraded in headlines. I don't need validation or victory speeches. I just needed her to feel it, to sit day after day at her perfect dinner table, surrounded by nothing but empty glasses and memories she can't swallow. To remember that I walked away with nothing but dignity, and that was enough to destroy her. Because sometimes vengeance isn't fire. It's the wind that blows through a hollow house after the doors have been closed and the laughter's gone. It doesn't rage. It whispers. You're right, Ma.